One thing I'm going to pull out from what you said that I think is not talked about very much, which is motivation. That, like we have motivational Mondays and, I'm just
Yeah.
not motivated to do something.
Yeah.
That is I don't know if that's an old term or it seems to have outlived its time to be
Mm.
motivated. And so I love that you kind of call that out, that it isn't waiting for motivation because
It
it may
isn't
never
waiting. No, I always tell everyone like motivation doesn't grow on trees. Just like money doesn't grow on trees, motivation doesn't grow on trees. You have to, again, you will feel that intrinsic motivation sometimes. Definitely, it still happens. But I'm gonna say 80% of the time you go or you do it for something else. You don't do it because you're motivated to do it. You do it because you have the discipline. You do it because you know the results that it brings you. You know how good it is for you, whether it's for your mental health, for your physical health, for both. For whatever reasons you're doing it, this is what keeps you motivated. For some people, it's something that comes after or before.
Welcome to the Mindfulness in Motion podcast. The podcast explores recreational activities infused with mindfulness so we can move beyond simply existing and live with more joy and curiosity and freedom. I'm your host, Corey Micah, and I'm excited to have our listeners here with us today. In today's episode, we're talking with Vanessa, who is a women's personal trainer, founder of Grow Her Strong. We're going to talk about how strength training can become a mindful movement practice that builds confidence and reduces anxiety and supports lifelong well-being. If you've ever believed exercise has to be intense or intimidating, this could be the conversation for you. We will offer a refreshing perspective on how simple movement of your body and your mind can transform the way you feel physically and emotionally. Let's dive in. Welcome. Thanks for being with us today across the big pond. You're over in France.
Hi, Corey. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Yes, I am across the big pond in France right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for inviting me to the podcast.
yeah, absolutely. I kind of love to, I knew I had our conversation today, but I kind of put it out of my mind till I get here. And I was like, I found it serendipitous. I got here, or I'm recording this right after going to the gym, doing my strength
Mm.
training, which let me tell you, I have to get over myself every single time.
Oh, yeah. It's never easy.
Yeah, it is not. I have yet to be able to adjust the sentence in my brain that says I don't like this. I've had to actually pair it with, I do love mindful meditation walking, and that
Okay.
fills me. And so that's like my treat to walk to the gym
Okay.
doing my mindful meditation. So
Oh, that's very smart.
yeah, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just have to go to the gym and do one thing. Always do more, but I have to just go and do one thing. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
All you have to
Yeah. Yeah.
do.
A lot of the times it's about tricking your mind, right? Because with things like strength training, we know we need to do them. We know they're good for us for a bunch of reasons. We can dive into that later, but it's hard to get yourself to do it. And I think it's hard to get ourselves to do a lot of things, not just strength training, not just exercise, right? And with exercise, ideally, we want to find something we enjoy so that it's easier for us to do it. But that doesn't mean that there are going to be days when we don't want to do it. We just have to get through that barrier of, well, I don't want to do it, but maybe if I think of how I feel after it, that'll help me do it. Or like you said, maybe I'll do this, which I really love, which is my walking meditation as I go to the gym. And then that'll get me in the mood. That'll help me get in the mood. Or maybe you do something with someone else and you have someone for accountability. We look for strategies to get us there because a lot of the times we just don't want to do it. And I include myself. I'm like, I'm a trainer, yes, but it doesn't mean that I'm 100% every day wanting to train.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all tend to think for not just for exercise, but for anything we want to do, we think we need to be motivated to do it. And the reality is that that doesn't work. That works
Mm.
one day. Yeah, one day we'll have the motivation to get up and go to the gym or do our exercise or eat our veggies or whatever it is. but it's not going to happen every day. And the reason why people like you and me keep going to the gym or keep doing our training or keep going on with these habits that we know are good for us, it's most of the times because with time you develop the habit, you develop that consistency, you develop that discipline, and there's always friction at some point, but you sort of learn to navigate that friction. And there might be a day when you stay in and just choose the couch, and maybe that's just what you need,
Yes.
and that's okay. But at the same time, the more you do it, the more you gain these tools to deal with the frictions, right? And get past them and say, okay, this is really good for me. This is bringing me all these good things into my routine, into my life. Then I'll do it, even if it's hard to do.
Hmm. Now, one thing I'm going to pull out from what you said that I think is not talked about very much, which is motivation. That, like we have motivational Mondays and, I'm just
Yeah.
not motivated to do something.
Yeah.
That is I don't know if that's an old term or it seems to have outlived its time to be
Mm.
motivated. And so I love that you kind of call that out, that it isn't waiting for motivation because
It
it may
isn't waiting.
never.
No, I always tell everyone like motivation doesn't grow on trees. Just like money doesn't grow on trees, motivation doesn't grow on trees. You have to, again, you will feel that intrinsic motivation sometimes. Definitely, it still happens. But I'm going to say 80% of the time you go or you do it for something else. You don't do it because you're motivated to do it. You do it because you have the discipline. You do it because you know the results that it brings you. You know how good it is for you, whether it's for your mental health, for your physical health, for both. For whatever reasons you're doing it, this is what keeps you motivated. For some people, it's something that comes after or before. Again, I'm gonna take your example again. Your walking
Hmm.
meditation, you love it, so you pair it, and that's a great thing to do. You pair something you love with something that is a bit harder to do. So one thing leads to the other, or something else you said, like, I'm going to do just one thing, right? Sometimes you will find the energy to do your session just by saying, I'm going to do 2 minutes of a warm up. And definitely, once you start moving, your brain will be activated and it will want you to keep moving because we are designed to move.
Yes.
We evolved to move, right? We just didn't a lot because modern life is like that. But in reality, our brain responds much more better to movement than anything else. So once you get those 2 minutes or those 5 minutes of a warm up in, then you're going to do your session 100% without even thinking about it. But it's that first step, which is the hardest one, where you have to consciously make an effort and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do this 2 minutes, or I'm going to do this because I feel so much better afterwards, even if I'm not feeling great right now. And those kind of things, those little things get you going more than just relying solely on motivation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think this part of this too is this idea. What I'm hearing in here is it can be helpful to have the expectation that everything is going right when you don't feel motivated to get going, when you do have the resistance. Like, I love the image of a really big rock.
Oh yeah.
Right? You probably know the really big rock, like how hard it is to get a rock moving. But once you get it moving, maybe that's really what motivation is, right? Motivation is
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
it gets moving, but you
Right.
just have to it's exactly, you're in the right place when you're don't want to do it,
Yeah.
don't want to start.
Yeah,
Hi.
exactly. Mm. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you've read Atomic Habits by James Clears. He says that the cycle is you need to take an action to bring that motivation. So it's like a cycle. It's an action. That action brings a result. That result brings you the motivation. And then you go back into the action, into the result, and into the motivation. It keeps a loop feeding, right? Again, like you said, you do a little thing, for example, the warm up, and then you start feeling great. You start feeling better, maybe not great. You start feeling better than you were. So that's your result. The result of your action is there. And that, okay, I'm feeling better. That is my motivation to keep going.
Hmm.
It's just this loop, this
And I love
constant
that
loop.
you switched from great to better, because that's
Yes.
another good mind trick there, right?
Yeah.
Is this idea that we don't always feel great in life, but we're looking for these places that we do feel a little better and that we have permission to feel better. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that
Yeah.
1% better. It doesn't even need to be big. But
Mm.
if you are, I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, I have some allergies and my histamine sometimes is all over the place. And when I get a big reaction, my body feels like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds,
Mm.
right? So when I'm in those moments, I know that I cannot do any sort of exercise that is too heavy because I'm going to make it worse. But at the same time, if I don't move at all, I'm also going to make it worse. I
Yeah.
need to find that sweet spot, right? And because I'm feeling so bad, like I was yesterday afternoon, I'm like, I need to do some movement because I know it's going to help me. I know it's going to get this moving and it's going to make me feel better and it's going to move some of this reaction away out of my body. And but it took me a long time to make the decision to start moving because I was laying on the couch, my body felt heavy, I didn't want to move, right? And I started to have this thought, okay, it's going to make me feel a little bit better. Just a tiny, maybe my legs are not going to be so heavy if I do a few stretches, Maybe my arms are going to be feel tiny bit better if I just do a few circles with my arms. Hi, baby.
She's
Yeah,
back.
she's going to stay here with us. So that's what got me to actually do something that I knew deep inside. I knew that I was going to feel maybe 1 or 2% better. It's not going to be over just because I do this. It's going to take its process. And it actually did. I did a little bit, like 15 minutes of something gentle, and I
Mm.
did feel a little bit better.
Nice.
It felt like that reaction lasted a bit less than others, for example. So again, maybe it's just 1% better, but that's enough.
I love that visual of what you're saying with the having a histamine reaction. And I had a similar thing when I flew to Morocco to do a boogie boarding trip. And I swelled up in the plane and I broke
Oh,
on hives.
yeah. Oof.
And I'd never had that kind of reaction to a flight. And I knew I would feel better, even if I didn't do the boogie boarding, which is what I was there for, surfing, to just be in the ocean.
Yeah.
Right, like put the wetsuit on, which in that case is compressive, being in the
Yeah, exactly. It was going to
water.
help the inflammation.
Yes, the whole thing. And we think, and like these systems in your body, it just made me visualize and think about our blood flowing, right? You need your blood flowing and your lymph flowing
Exactly.
to move
Exactly.
illness and disease through your body, disease through
Yeah.
your body. My mom, as a kid, telling me, just get up and take a shower, right?
Yeah.
Like just do that one thing, you're going to feel
The
better.
one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get up
Yeah.
and in that case, take a shower when you're really sick. To our visual audience, my kitty is here. To our audio audience, you don't know who to, say hi to.
We
I,
were talking about it.
my kitty just like did not want to leave me alone in the pre, and I put her out of the room, and she found her way back in. She just wants to be part of the conversation today.
That's totally fine.
Anyways, so one of the things in your bio, you kind of talked about you're an English teacher and you're doing some other things before. And then what you wanted to come back to what you were really passionate about, which was helping women feel stronger and confident in who they are and what they're capable of, which
Mhm.
doesn't say I wanted to help women lift heavy weights. So tell me more about, that was the passion sentence, helping women feel stronger and confident. And it has
Yeah.
come through weightlifting, but that doesn't sound like it's the primary driver of having big muscles necessarily.
Exactly. So, yes, as a personal trainer and working with women, I focus on strength training per se, like in helping women develop that strength and the muscle as you know it. But the focus for me is not necessarily the visual part of it. And that's what I mean. Like, I want to help women, and this is what I talk with every one of my clients is we want you to be stronger and to have this muscle, to have this strength, to increase your mobility, your range of motion, not just because muscle looks awesome, Probably that comes last, but mainly because you want to move better through life and you want to improve your quality of life through these means. What I mean is, as we gain strength and mobility, then we move better in our everyday. Like, I can give you a million examples from my clients. Like, the first thing that happens when we start strength training is how much more energy they have, you know, for the everyday tasks. Or if it was very hard to climb up 2 flights of stairs to their apartment, especially in Europe, there's a lot of places that don't have elevators, right? So maybe they have to climb 2, 3 flights of stairs to their apartment, and that just left them winded or out of breath. And then after a couple of sessions, a month or two, that doesn't happen anymore. They feel that they can go up and down much more easily, carry groceries, go on the floor playing with their grandchildren. I have clients who are 70 years old and they still go on the floor and play with their grandkids, and they're training because they want to play with their grandkids without pain, right? Moving luggage. I have clients who travel a lot, and I remember this one very clearly, like what they wanted to do is be able to put their luggage on the overhead compartment of the plane without help. That was
Yeah.
the goal. And this is what I mean with helping women gain strength and confidence for life through the strength training, yes. But the goal of the sessions, the goal of the training is not to do it just for 2 or 3 months, is to do this for life, with or without me, but to learn it and do it for life because it improves your quality of life overall. Like, again, being able to climb stairs, being able to go on a hike if you like on holiday, you're surfing in Morocco, right? You need the strength to do that. You need the stability to do that. Carrying groceries, playing with kids, moving luggage around the airport or in the plane, right? We have all these sorts of things that translate to everyday life. Going to the toilet, sitting up and down without help, when you're like, when I don't know, 80, 90 years old. Those, for me, in my eyes, this is the goal. This is what should be it is for me again, what is the most important thing and the main reason I exercise and I want people to exercise. Then muscle comes. Yes, muscle will be built. It takes longer than all these things because the visual part takes longer and takes other adjustments. And it's very nice to see, and it looks amazing, and no one's going to mess with you if they see you're muscular. But again, it's not the primary goal necessarily. I don't know if that answers your question. I think
Yeah,
that for me,
absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
the thing.
Yeah. Tying it to, I mean, I can very much see that the two that really stood out to me is that getting up and down from the floor. I've heard that when I was younger, I'd hear that all the time, that that's something that we lose, being able to
We lose.
walk
Yeah.
backwards and get up and down off the floor. And I thought, that's crazy. Like, how could that be hard? And then I'm a person who exercises all the time and in different capacities have a pretty active life. But I did suddenly one day, just with the aging process, gosh, how did that suddenly get hard? It sort of snuck up on
Yeah.
me. That did get harder to get up and down off the floor. I can still lift my luggage, but I can also see that when that's a biggie in terms of that empowerment, women are often like, I don't know, there's a cultural thing around like, it's nice to have a man open the door for you. And, these like polite things in society that are done for women.
Yeah.
And there's a certain like lack of empowerment that comes with that too, that women, also want to know that they can open their own door
Exactly.
and they can
Exactly.
put their
I
own
mean, it's
luggage.
nice. It's nice if someone does it for you. Definitely. Why not? It's a
Yes.
nice gesture, but it's good to know that you can do it. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
strength training, what it gives you mostly is that confidence. I've gotten a lot of these reactions of, "Ooh, I didn't think I could do this. When you told me to prepare that weight, I thought it was going to be too much, and I can do it now." Or like, I started with this and now I can do this. So seeing what you're capable of, what your body can do, is just wonderful. And that's where I think the empowerment comes from.
Mhm. So, how do we get over one of the other things I heard you say is in a couple of months, you'll be able to. And my heart just went, oh, I can just
Oh
feel
no.
people like, oh, really? It's going to take a
Really?
couple months? Like, I have to wait a couple months? Like, I want it today. That, and when you're like, how do you feel after you do the exercise? I actually thought, how do I feel after I've not been exercising and exercise, I feel tired. I feel like
Uh-huh.
maybe sore. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
help people through those barriers.
It's a lot about working on the mindset, on saying it doesn't have to be 100 times better. It can be 1% better. Again, it all the things that for you, you may see them as small steps, they all count. They are all contributing to in 4 or 5 months. Oh, I can move this. Oop, no problem. How did
Right.
that happen? Oh, well, you've been doing all of this and this, and that has been happening. And then suddenly you can do that. It's not sudden, really. You've been taking a lot of steps to it. So it's, yeah, focusing a little bit, or trying to focus on understanding that small things count. All the steps counts.
The small things count. Yeah. And I think it's that then looking for the small things versus looking for the big stones.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
big things come to us as a surprise, as
Oh,
a,
yeah.
whoa, it feels
Oh,
out of the blue. But it's the, yes, it's focusing on the small things over and over again. I talk with our
yeah.
swim students all the time. I said, what's going to happen to your swimming if you swam once a week for 52 weeks? If you got in the water with self-care, curiosity, and love once a week for 52 weeks, how do you think your swimming will be at the end? It'll be
Yeah.
different. It'll be better. It'll be
Definitely.
more confident, right? How will your swimming be if you get in the pool once a week for 52 weeks and you hate on yourself and you judge yourself and you criticize yourself? It'll probably still be different because your body had the experience in the water, but you probably won't notice it and you won't enjoy
Yeah.
it. Right?
Yeah.
So
Because
this,
you're looking at the big change. Exactly. And I've had cases like that, and I've told my clients, like, it's okay to have a big goal. Definitely. It's wonderful. But if you only focus on that, you're never going to see all the improvements that you made over time, because maybe that takes a lot to come.
mhm.
So let's grab that big goal and say, okay, we can do all these little things to achieve that. And then let's, like you said, start paying attention to the small things that we achieve.
Yeah.
And I think that has to do a lot also with the conversations we have in class. Because the sessions that I do are private, like one to one, it's much easier to have these chats and to, like, I'm constantly trying to bring out how they feel, what they see, what differences they see. And then people start, or the women that I work with start to actually focus on it and paying more attention to these little things.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what builds it up. I always think, you've used that example of being able to climb up the stairs. We don't notice the effort and the work it takes to lift your foot off one
Oh,
platform,
yeah.
the distance that it takes to get it to the next platform, the changing of the weight to put your foot on the new
Yeah,
platform, the pushing up. The only part we give credit to
that's
is
a lot.
your head raise up.
Exactly.
But there's all these bits in between that are absolutely essential to having your head raise up.
A
And
hundred. Yeah.
credit for that.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa, tell us where people can find you, how they can work with you. If they want to
Sure.
their physical and their mental strength.
Yeah, definitely. That's the goal, right? So I am working with one-to-one online sessions. These are private classes that we do together. Yeah. Also, I do programs, personalized programs. If people don't are not up to a class, they can work on their own with my guidance, and we have check-ins and follow-ups and all the accountability. That is really what most people need, that accountability, that support behind the scenes. And all of that is in my website, which is growstrongher.com. So that is grow strong her, so with an H before the ER.com. And there is a button there they can click, which is called Movement Map, which is to have a call with me. So this is the call we have before we start working together, and where we meet and we see if we click and how we can work together and how we can help each other.
Very good.
Uh,
So, quick
yeah.
question. I don't have a gym at my house.
Okay, so we work with, well, I have them somewhere here. We work with free weights. Most of my clients work from home with me, and I always suggest what equipment they can get.
Mm.
Depending on where they are, I'll send them different links. But yeah, we work with a set of weights, a set of dumbbells, and some resistance bands, and that's all you need. Some people just start with resistance bands because that's all they can do at the moment, and that's still okay. We can adapt to that. That's the beauty of one-to-one sessions, right? We can adapt to the situations. I will adapt to the situations. So basically, yes, I will suggest what equipment to get, but we can do it from home, and you don't need a lot of space. You just need like a one square of
Yeah.
like one
Okay.
square meter, and that's it. That's all you need. Maybe a mat. But that's not a lot that you need. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I can even take those resistance bands into my luggage that I put in
Exactly. And you
the
can take them
overhead
with you on your
bin. No
Well, a
excuse
lot
to
of my
go home
clients
on
do that. Yeah.
vacation. All
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for being here today. We appreciate you and look forward to getting stronger together.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great conversation, and yeah, I'm looking forward to helping all of you who may need it.